At one of America's busiest international airports, every piece of luggage tells a story. Some are innocent, some are suspicious, and some, well, they raise alarms before they're even opened. For baggage officers at U.S. Customs, this is a daily game of instinct and observation, a balance of trained suspicion and the randomness of fate. One officer eyes a woman traveling alone with several bags. That, in itself, isn't a crime. But something about her behavior feels off. A hunch is all it takes. "How you doing? May I see your passport, please?" He selects her for what's known as a random pop, a spontaneous inspection of luggage. It's a numbers game. Most turn up nothing, but some uncover everything. The woman's story begins to crack immediately. "This is for my auntie and my uncle," she says, gesturing toward the bags. He pauses. "Is this your bag or no?" She hesitates. "No." That's all it takes. "When you say this is not your bag, all of our alerts go way high," the officer explains. "Because now we're wondering, what the heck is in that bag? What's your uncle's name?" "I forgot." "What about your cousin?" "It's the wife of my cousin's husband." The story becomes tangled, confusing, and vague. The kind of answer that instantly raises red flags. The officer sharpens his tone. "Did you even open the bag to see what's inside?" "I don't know," she says. "I didn't check." "Why are you taking somebody else's bag if it's not yours? You don't know what's in it." She shrugs. "No." Inside the bag is a chaotic mess, items crammed in without care. Liquids in unmarked containers and multiple unlabeled items. "What's this?" the officer asks. "I don't know." "What is this liquid? You don't know what this is?" "Nothing," she repeats. "I don't know." Then they find something that looks far more suspicious, a tightly packed white substance. "What is this?" "I don't know." "It looks like cocaine," the officer says. "Let's test it." Tension thickens. He carefully removes the item and conducts a field test. The strip reacts. Starch, baby powder. Dextrin from corn. Negative for narcotics this time, but there's more. The officers begin to go through the rest of her luggage, item after item, bag after bag. One suitcase is like a mobile pharmacy. Dozens of pill bottles, some sealed, some not. Liquid medicines, syringes, unidentifiable powders. It's overwhelming. "Do you know what this is?" "No." "What is this for?" "Pain." "Whose pain?" "Friends." One of the officers steps back. This is more than someone traveling with personal medicine. This is a traveling pharmacy. She can't name a single medication correctly. Can't explain where she got them. Doesn't know what's prescribed and what's not. The names are in other languages. Labels are missing. Dosages are unclear. "We don't even know what this is," the officer says, holding up one packet. "Could be poison." And the most concerning part? She never declared any of it. Not one of the 50-plus medicines. They can't verify what's legal, what's FDA approved, or what could harm someone if sold or consumed. The decision is made. All of it will be handed over to the FDA for analysis. "No," she protests softly. "No, it's all going," the officer replies. "They'll decide what happens to it." For now, she's free to go. No drugs, no weapons, nothing definitively illegal. But the warning is clear. Next time, don't take anything that isn't yours. And don't bring anything you can't identify. It could be narcotics, drugs, weapons. She nods, wide-eyed. The officer steps back. "It was a good stop. We didn't find contraband, but we definitely stopped something questionable." But in the smuggling world, the air isn't the only battlefield. Just a few miles away on the waters of South Florida, another kind of hunt is unfolding. Customs and HSI are preparing a new operation, one that began with a luxury yacht and ended with the discovery of 456 kilograms of cocaine. And the captain, well, he's about to get a knock on the door. The waters around South Florida are bright, open, and filled with yachts and sailing vessels. But beneath that luxury, sometimes, hides a darker current. Today, Homeland Security Investigations is meeting with a Miami Marine smuggling group. Their goal: track, catch, and dismantle a sophisticated drug trafficking operation. It's not just one bust. It's part of a growing pattern. And today's target was moving fast. 3 vessels seized. Tons of cargo. Hundreds of kilos of cocaine. One yacht in particular stands out. South Florida's full of boats, says the supervisor. It's a boating culture, but that also makes it hard to regulate. The criminal organizations know that. They use the freedom of the sea to blend in with regular yacht traffic, hiding in plain sight. One such yacht had been under surveillance. It arrived out of the Dominican Republic, docking in Fort Lauderdale. A search was ordered, and what they found? Stunning. 5 duffel bags completely filled with cocaine were discovered immediately in the salon area of the vessel. But that wasn't all. Down below, hidden behind a bunk, more bricks. Row after row, carefully stacked. Silent and lethal. 456 kilograms of cocaine. A major haul. The officers found personal items, too. Clothes, bags, evidence of someone living aboard during the trip. One of the main defendants was actually sleeping there, an agent notes. He had over $40,000 in cash on him. This wasn't just a quick job. It was a planned, multi-stop operation. The smugglers had set sail from the Dominican Republic, passed through the Bahamas, and made refueling stops before quietly slipping into the U.S., all under the illusion of a leisure voyage. The boat may have been fancy. The strategy, clever. But their luck ran out. Now, only one loose end remained. The captain. He had been aboard the night the boat was seized. There wasn't enough evidence at the time to hold him. He was released pending investigation. But that has changed. Now, they have a warrant. And today, they plan to execute it. Back on land, agents gather for the operation. They plan to arrest the captain at his residence. The timing is key. Surveillance suggests he regularly leaves mid-morning. The hope is to intercept him before he drives off, before they reforced into a riskier, more unpredictable confrontation. The team splits up. Stage right here at the corner. One agent says, "End of the street, facing north." If he gets into a vehicle, keep eyes on him. Containment is critical. The agents take positions. 6 officers on site, vehicles placed strategically. No one moves without the signal. Go time. They approach the house. It's quiet. The cars are still in the driveway. No movement at the door. The helicopter is en route for aerial coverage. But something doesn't feel right. One agent, a 16-year veteran, trusts his instinct. "I've done this too long," he says. "I have a feeling something's off. Time to move in." The team prepares to breach the property. Guns ready, eyes sharp. They knock. "Police?" Open the door. A young man answers. "The captain's son, is your father home?" He hesitates. "No. He left last night." They don't buy it. "We're going to check the house. We have a warrant." The son doesn't argue. He steps aside. The team moves room to room, clearing the space. Nothing yet. But then, in the last bedroom at the back of the house, crouched in the corner, they find him, the captain, caught, quiet, no resistance. Best case scenario, one officer later recalls, no injuries, no conflict. Just clean and professional. They place him in custody, hands cuffed, his freedom now behind him. He's escorted to the transport unit and the arrest is recorded. The operation is a success. Back at headquarters, the agents regroup. They've just pulled another key player out of the smuggling web. But they know, this is just one thread. "We're still working the marine smuggling network," one agent says. "And we won't stop. Cocaine's being moved by sea, by air, by land, and it's our job to find those who supply and support it. Tomorrow, a new takedown begins. Another warrant, another target, another chapter in a story that never really ends. Inside customs at Miami International, officers are trained to expect the unexpected. Today, that means boxes of medicine, unlabeled liquids, and passengers carrying more drugs than a pharmacy shelf. They open one woman's suitcase. It's stuffed, bottles, blister packs, vials of cloudy liquid in a plastic container. "What's this?" the officer asks. "I don't know," she replies. "Who gave this to you, my friend?" "Is your friend a doctor? Maybe. He has something. A shop." The more they dig, the less she knows. "What do people use this for?" "I don't know." "Do you even know the name of this?" "No. One bottle says peptine quind. Another has no label at all. A third one is written in Vietnamese. This isn't personal use. This is something else entirely." "The issue isn't just the quantity," the officer says. "It's the total lack of knowledge. She doesn't know what she's carrying. She didn't declare any of it. We don't know what's in these bottles, and neither does she. This haul is too big and too unknown to take chances. Every item is seized and handed over to the FDA. The officer sighs. Most of it will be destroyed. We can let this enter the country if we can even identify what it is. One of these could be poison. One pill could be fatal." Nearby, another officer is facing a similar case. A man's bags are filled with pills. Dozens of containers, boxes labeled neocodeine, a known codeine derivative common in countries like Vietnam and Lebanon. It's classified as a Schedule II narcotic in the United States. Powerful, addictive, and illegal without a prescription. The passenger tries to explain. "I bought just one box. For my sister, for when she coughs." "How many boxes?" He hesitates. "Just one. But the search reveals more." "You've got this stuff everywhere," the officer says. "You sure it's just one?" They run a quick test. The chemical signature confirms the substance is what they feared. The officer warns him. "This is a first-time warning. Do not ever bring this into the U.S. again. You've been lucky today." The man nods. "No more. I tell my family too. Never again." Fist bump, fist bump. And just like that, he's released. Warned, monitored, marked. Next time, there will be seizure and penalty. But not everyone is clueless. Some travelers know exactly what they're carrying. Some use reloadable cards to hide spending. Some come with a one-day round-trip ticket, supposedly for shopping. Some carry dozens of syringes, filled and ready. The officers begin to spot patterns. They speak with a young woman from Trinidad. Her story is familiar. "I came to buy clothes. I have a store. I return tomorrow." But something doesn't sit right. Her bags aren't full. Her hotel isn't booked, and her card, it's not even in her name. The officer notes she's too calm, like she's done this before. They pull her into a private room, ask about her store. Her daughter, her last trip. "I mainly sell Jordans," she says. "Sneakers. I buy and resell. But it doesn't add up." Her ticket was bought last minute. Her income doesn't match her travel. Her phone only has 3 contacts. Her card is a prepaid. The officer checks the return manifest. "Let's see if she actually leaves tomorrow," he says. If she doesn't, she's lying. No hard evidence, but enough red flags to flag her future travel for inspection. Meanwhile, another inspection reveals something more dangerous. A passenger in a wheelchair is stopped. She's elderly, gentle, smiling. But her bag, antibiotics, painkillers, Viagras, in pill, liquid, even injectable form, the officer lists. Nothing labeled properly. All of it counterfeit. They test the pills. Nothing registers. "That's a sign they're fake," he says. These pills could have fentanyl or nothing, or poison. People think they're helping family, but they could be killing them. Even over-the-counter items like neocodeine are flagged. Because in America, it's not just what you bring, it's what you know about it, and whether it's allowed by law. For customs agents, it's not just about stopping criminals. It's about protecting people, even from themselves. From fake meds, from smugglers, from shady pills bought on side streets in countries that don't regulate like the US. Every bag is a risk, every bottle a potential threat, and every passenger a puzzle. In the world of narcotic smuggling, the methods are always evolving. Sometimes it's a suitcase. Sometimes it's hidden in fish. Sometimes it's in your shoes. At the airport, officers open a passenger's bag. The man seems calm, friendly even. But one detail catches the officer's eye. A pair of sneakers that feel oddly heavy. He taps the soles. They sound dense, packed. "Give me a second," the officer says. He flips the shoes, slices into the sole. A dense palleolo powder oozes out. Cocaine, layered into the bottom of the shoes. Soaked into the padding, shaped and pressed. They test the substance. A blue strip appears. Positive for cocaine. The man's calm shatters. He looks around, avoids eye contact. His hands begin to tremble. "Does your wife know about this?" the officer asks. He shakes his head. "You sure? Because she's acting like she doesn't know anything." I don't know." The shoes are sealed in evidence bags. The odor is strong, almost nauseating. Officers weigh them. Tea's alone holds several hundred grams. "Kea, we hit something today," one of them mutters. But cocaine isn't the only threat flowing into the country. In the mail inspection unit, scanners pick up a box labeled protein supplements. But something's off. Inside the package, dozens of bars. White, rectangle-shaped, no markings, no branding. They're not supplements. They're Xanax bars, or something pretending to be. Field test reveals the truth. Counterfeit benzodiazepines, likely ordered off the dark web. "This is where it's going now," the officer explains. Pills, not powder. Prescription abuse is the new wave. One box. Over 15,000 pills. No prescription, no patient. Just a mass of addictive drugs heading to an unknown user. "We don't know what's in these," he says. "Could be fentanyl, could be garbage, could be deadly." They weigh it 3,400 grams. That's not personal use. That's distribution scale. HSI is notified. The investigation begins, but not everything comes through the airport. Some of it is already on the streets. Customs and HSI agents gather for a raid. Their target, a trap house in a Miami neighborhood. It's a small trailer. No one officially lives there. No beds, no kitchen. It's not a home. It's a storefront for cocaine. Intelligence says it's connected to a Bahamas smuggling route. Boats bring it in. Traffickers sell it here. And the men inside, armed, dangerous, known for violence. The HSI Special Response Team suits up. "This is about safety," their commander says. "These people have long criminal records. We expect resistance." They roll in quietly. Then, all at once, they move. Go, go, go. Police push it. They breach the fence. One suspect bolts out the back, but he doesn't get far. Hands up. Do it now. He's down, cuffed, arrested. Inside the trailer, another man is caught at the table. Drugs in hand. Shocked, but cooperative. The house is cleared. "That went textbook," says one agent. Exactly how he trained. Search teams go through the space. They find crack cocaine, cash, digital scales, baggies, and over $600 in small bills. This wasn't a hobby. It was a business. They were sitting on $30,000 worth of dope, the agent says, and selling it to local families. They'll now try to turn this case federal, to trace the drugs, the boats, and the suppliers, and shut down not just a seller, but an entire network. Back at the airport, an officer spots a familiar face. A woman who claimed she came from Trinidad to shop for her clothing store. The officer had flagged her on arrival. Something hadn't felt right. Now, she's returning. I want to make sure she's leaving, he says, and that she's actually taking merchandise with her. He scans her luggage, clothes, tags, receipts. Okay, he nods. This time, her story checks out. She's released, but her file is marked. Next time, there won't be as much leniency. We get a lot more negatives than positives, the officer reflects. But we keep looking, because when we do find something, it's worth it. Every day, thousands of passengers walk through airport doors unaware of the quiet war being fought around them. It's not a war with bullets, but with instincts.
With scanners, with quiet conversations that turn into confessions, and with questions that cut deeper than they seem. Behind each stop, each pat down, and each inspection are men and women trained to see what others overlook. They aren't chasing every traveler. They're chasing patterns, looking for the needle in the haystack, and hoping the needle doesn't explode before they find it. A senior officer closes out her shift. "I've tested powder that came back as sulfuric acid," she says. "Someone tried to sell that as medicine. Imagine that. Buying poison, thinking it's a cure." She looks exhausted, but determined. We can't let our guard down, because someone else will pay the price. And sometimes they already do. This isn't just about customs or paperwork or ticking boxers on a shift schedule. It's about preventing disaster, about making sure poison doesn't reach a child, that fentanyl doesn't hide in a vitamin bottle, that cocaine doesn't travel in a shoe, that someone's trip doesn't end in tragedy. They inspect the suspicious. And sometimes the unsuspecting. "We've stopped grandmothers in wheelchairs smuggling fake pills," one agent says. "You can't go by age, race, gender. You go by behavior. Every seizure has a story. A woman with dozens of unmarked syringes. A man with Xanax-shaped bars sold as protein supplements. A passenger hiding cocaine in the soles of sneakers. Or a teenager with Viagra injections stuffed in a rice bag. Each case is different, but the thread, it's always the same. Across town, HSI agents wrap up a narcotics raid. They seized crack cocaine, $30,000 in street value, and arrested 2 high-level traffickers. But they know it's just one trap house in a long chain. "We're not done," the lead agent says. "This is just one head of the Hydra. We're tracing boats, bank transfers, encrypted messages, all of it." He rubs his eyes, checks his phone, and gets a quiet nod from a fellow agent. "We do it," he says, "because someone has to." At the airport, passengers move endlessly. Luggage rolls, announcements echo, boarding passes print. Families reunite, strangers pass in silence. And behind it all, watching, listening, choosing when to act, are the guardians of the border. They don't catch everything, but when they do, it matters. Because one box of pills could kill, one fake supplement could cripple, and one bad decision could end a life. This is the front line of travel and trafficking, of routine and risk, of innocence and intention. So every passenger is a story, and every suitcase could change the ending. This is the fight for safety, for truth, for control over what crosses the line. This is To Catch a Smuggler. If you found this story eye-opening, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more real cases from the Your support helps us bring you more true stories from behind the scenes.